Hit the button, man. Already hit the button. It's time to go.
Hit the button. It's time to go.
Hit the button. This man's trying to like do something after I hit the button. But here we go. We're here to talk about Penguin, season 1, episode 3, with a few of our Patreon and friends, and we're going to talk about
coffee members
right now. What's up, everybody? We, like I just said, we just got through watching the episode. We always record these right after, so we don't even have, say, the time to really.
It's initial thoughts, man. It's initial thoughts.
All initial thoughts on these things and everything else. And if you like watching these, you can join. We have switched from Patreon to Ko-Fi because it was something to do with like some money and everything else, and we're trying to be more fair to people. So if you want to, you can join that, which will let you join the Discord whenever we talk about these things in the Discord, like we do pretty much every day. And then also allow you to join and watch with us. And then if you're at certain levels, you can actually be part of the actual show that we're doing right now. And let me switch this over to the thing so we can actually see the background, that beautiful background that Danny did for us. Mm-hmm. But yeah, guys, let's just go down the line, man. Let's talk about our initial thoughts, like just in general. And then we'll start talking about individual things as we go. But since it's such a glorious sight to have actually Ferris join us for one of the shows, we'll let him start it off, baby. Go ahead, Ferris.
For the first one. I was here for the first one, man.
Not the second.
Well, I'm talking about shows, period. This is like one of the first shows, like you've been doing this thing with us, but go ahead, Ferris.
By the way, speaking of on coffee, I believe it's the $10 tier to join our watch-alongs and our post-credit episodes. I just want to point that as well. But yeah, man, I really love the episode, man. I thought it was a little bit more laid back than episode 2, but then I realized, after I said that comment, you said something. I realized you're right, because episode 2 was kind of like robbing the funeral, and I'll probably mistake laid back with not a lot of action set pieces, but that's probably what I meant by laid back, is that there wasn't a lot of action set pieces in this episode. It was more cerebral storytelling inside the mind of each individual character.
I agree with the laid back, but not in a bad way. Sometimes laid back can be beautiful, and I think it's in the good, beautiful way. So go ahead.
Because
we got Victor's story this time.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So that's what I probably meant by laid back. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of action, but there was a lot of story. You know what I mean? So that's probably why that's why probably my brain said laid back in a sense. But a lot was going on story wise, because we have the initial flashback with Victor and how he's having fun, and then at the moment, I think when we were watching it, we didn't know. We thought it was a present day thing, and then we like, oh, we're gonna watch fireworks, and then bombs started going off, and then we realized, oh, that's snap. That's from the movie. That's at the end of the movie when the Riddler blows up City Hall. So like we saw, which we realized, which was pretty nice. His girl from back then comes back into his life.
Gabriella.
Yeah. No, I think it's like
Gracielda or something.
Gracielda.
Start with G.
Yeah,
it's G. I thought Gabriella. Gazra. So I thought it said Gabriella. I thought it said Gabriella.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to say it. I think it's like
Graziella.
Yeah, like Grace and something like
that. Yeah,
you're right. The homie G. Let's call it the homie G.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. We see a lot of his I think the stuttering is probably connected to he probably got PTSD. You know what I mean? And it got worse because of what he saw, because he saw his parents and his family die from the flood. The flood smashes into their brownstone or apartment complex and like kills everybody in that apartment complex, which is pretty bad. We find out that a lot of them are still in FEMA camps to this day. So there's that. A lot of destruction. More from Sophia Falcone. Mm-hmm. So there's more from her and how she is navigating Frank Vitti and the family. And my favorite scene is when
hold on. But you got to save that. We actually talk about that later.
Okay, my bad. All right, gotcha. All right. But yeah, I love the episode. It was a great episode. Great story. I loved it. Keep it coming.
On the road, Greg's still watching the wrong show, I think. But
you know what?
We'll see what he thinks about the episode.
Great episode. Start off with a banger scene, ended it with a banger scene. Like Ferris said, everything in the middle. We got a little bit of Vic's story. We got a little bit of connection. We got a little bit more of the dynamic between Sophia and Oz. They let into some things, but overall, great episode. Like I said, started with a banger, ended with a banger. Everything in the middle was good storytelling, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Brandi.
I was waiting for you to give me shit because usually I'm the one that says everything.
So now it's like, you know, it is what it is.
I know Ferris did it all. No, it's okay.
Complete episode breakdown for us.
Makes fun of me, but it's okay. No, I like the episode. You got to see a little bit of the backstory with, but I knew that it was a flashback because I knew his family wasn't around. So I was like, oh, we're getting some of his story. So we got to see what happened to his family and what, went down, and they drowned and the water came through and hit their brownstone. It was a brownstone. Good job, Ferris. But yeah, it hit the building.
I think it's an apartment complex because brownstones.
It's like a brownstone. Yeah, it's like a.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we heard a little bit of Sophia's stuff too, because they created the Bliss, and she told the guy that that's what they were given in the asylum. So to kind of make them forget about everything and put them in this kind of blissful place that they were in. So that's how she knew. That's when you come in, you see all the asylum, and Oz is like, "What's this?" And she's like, "I got something, like watch this." And then you see the mushrooms, and that's where she had the stuff was in the asylum. So we got a little bit of what she was through too. We got a little bit of that guy, Johnny Viti.
Johnny V.
Yeah, we finally got.
He's playing a little spin the pickle over there.
Yeah, we got a little bit of. That's what we seen the pictures from the first episodes, and now we finally get. They're gonna use the pictures, and this is how they using the girl that he's sleeping with. Is her name Trisha, Tracy, something? It's something with
that's no Tina. That's Tina. That's Luca Falcone's wife, right?
Tina.
Yeah.
Yep. And he had Tina, and they went into the room, and they are like, "You're gonna help us." And yeah, it was interesting. It was a little laid back than what the other ones were, but it's also important to the story. So I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Talk to you.
Man, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to all of you, actually.
Yeah.
Out there on the YouTube channels. But here goes the thing, man. Wonderful. Fabulous. Chef's kiss to the writers.
You didn't do it.
This is one of those things to where normal, creative, and well done conversation is all you need when you do stories. This is a perfect example of that. There wasn't like everybody having to give a speech. There wasn't like everybody having to talk slow to try to act like what they're saying super important. It was people talking like they would in their natural habitat and just telling this great story. We had a girl that showed up on this episode that nobody even really knew about. And then and in this full episode, one episode, that's all it took for you to like understand like who she was, what she was, why she was there, and just the acting, all that stuff, dude. The guy they got for Victor, kudos, man. He's in the middle of like Colin over here and some of these other, people that's been on shows, and he's like, to me, like this episode particularly, like he outshined everybody he was around. He was on center stage. He was doing his thing. Just amazing. Like just the little things, man, like his facial expressions, the way like he stuttered at the right moments that made sense. The way he handled certain things was just like super great, super wonderful, awesome. And it's just so good to see shows that actually have that creative talent, like to be able to write a good story. Look, let's be honest. Max knows how to do story. Max knows how to put together TV shows. They've been doing it. They've been knocking bangers out the park. Every now and then they'll just hit a single, but a lot of times they hitting grand slams, man. And so far, 3 episodes in, this show's a damn grand slam, and I appreciate it because like there was moments in this, and like according on where you are in America right now, like you talk about the FEMA, you talk about like the water, you got the stuff going on in North Carolina that didn't even get directly hit by the, you know, you already had Florida get hit and that devastation they had from a hurricane, and then you got the stuff happening in like North Carolina and stuff where all the water and stuff was from just the rain, and it's affecting people. Like they watch the show, they're going to get affected by that. The story with Victor, you know, and like what he would hope his dad would think about what he's doing, and all those little intricacies was like put together very well. So like you felt them, right? So like we're watching a show, The Lord of the Rings, and we just finished that show. And I thought it had some cool stuff. I thought it was an improvement from season 1, but like there wasn't any moment in that show on any episode that I felt for Victor in this episode.
Renzi Felix.
Like that guy, he deserves all the kudos. I hope he gets like a Emmy or whatever it is, because this kid is, like I said, this whole like this particular episode, I felt more for that kid than I have for a character in a little bit. And it's the acting, like I said, and the writing, all that put together makes it a beautiful story. When he's sitting there and he's watching his like girlfriend getting on the bus, he's got this tough decision to make. Like I felt that, right? Like, and he comes back and then he makes the decision at the end of the show to do what he did that we'll be talking about here in a little bit. But like all that stuff, man, like him feeling for his dad and what his dad would be thinking about, like, is he doing the right thing? Is he not? Like when he's having the, like Ferris said, the PTSD in the club, like the way he was acting there and the way that they shot that and everything else was just like, oh man, kudos. You know, before we got on here, somebody had said something about some people on the Twitters was saying this was like the best episode. And even though it didn't have the most action, like I think I may agree with them. There was like one thing that I thought in this whole episode that was kind of dumb. And that's whenever Homegirl said, don't touch the mushrooms because you can kill them all. And then she proceeds to rip one off the stalk. Okay. But that's like a super nitpick. I forgot that happened until just now because like
like that's a beyond nitpick because I think that moment is, I think the reason she says that to him is basically said, you touch it, you die. But when I touch it, I'm invincible. To basically play on like, I'm the one in power here. So don't touch it because you'll get hurt. But
yeah, she tried to pull that a couple times.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why.
Like during the episode.
Yeah, I don't really think that's something to be that tripping about. But I think I probably may reading into that a little bit more because, you know, we forget, man. Like I think I said in episode 1, man. She's a psychopath. She's crazy. Yeah. Like I generally love this actress. I think her name is Christina Milioti. Melody. She embodies every time she's in her scene with anybody. She takes the scene. It's her scene. You're just in it. You're just watching her work because she's like, this is my scene. I chew this up. That scene with Feng Shao, she was like, it was just her talking for like 10 minutes, and you're like, you're just watching. You're like speaking of Emmys for Victor, man, right there with her, man, the scene where she talked about, and he was like, how do you know about this? But she's like, they gave it to us. I know this. And he was like, oh, okay. It's like, she ate that up, bro. She ate this up. And I love this show, man.
I agree with you. Like, she's doing great, but now I will say I don't think she overshadows like the Victor character or Penguin when she's with them. I think it's like an equal play. She stands
out with anybody. What are you talking about?
You're saying that like she stands out. Like I thought that her and Victor like being in the same room, like when they first met, like right there, and he was going to be the one that drives the car. Like you think like Victor didn't do a good job in that scene?
No,
like,
that's the thing. That's why that's why I think they're great. She comes in as Sofia Falcone and she owns the room and owns the scene, and he fits with her.
He's holding his own.
Yeah, he's playing scared, stuttery, newly minted actual criminal. Like, he was
Yeah,
a
but I would say
criminal,
that's harder to do on screen. Like if you're talking about character wise, like right,
but it's
like
hard
her
to portray.
character.
It's hard to portray charisma.
Mhm.
People like it's some people got it and you don't.
Yeah.
It's easy to play timid, scared guy. You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
know about that. I wouldn't say it's easy.
Well, just
I
stutter
mean,
a
it's
little.
easy for you because you're always timid and scared. But I mean,
The
for
hell
a
you
lot of
talking
other
about?
people,
I'll kick your ass.
bro,
I'll
what are you talking about,
I'll
man?
kick
God.
your ass, man. I'll kick your ass.
I'll let you do it, Ferris. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something about the state of Alabama. They got their asses beat on Saturday. I'll beat your ass today on Sunday.
Oh, I was happy to see that.
I'm talking about everybody in the state of Alabama got beat. Justin, Alabama,
Yeah, we knew.
Auburn, Alabama State, Alabama A&M. I think Troy lost. Everybody lost.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But with that being said, let's
now
go
it's
down the
Monday.
line. Let's name our favorite and least favorite scene. And like I've said, I have to keep iterating this because when I say least favorite, that does not mean it's bad. That means this episode was so damn good that you had to pick something that was still possibly good, but it's your least favorite out of all the great. So Ferris, start off with like your favorite scene that you were starting to talk about, and then go ahead and let us know what your least favorite was after that.
Yeah. I was gonna say the scene when they caught Vidi having sex with Tina, and then when he almost kills him. But I've switched it over. I think the Feng Shao scene with her, where he basically like he's all smug and says, I hate your dad, but I knew your dad, and we got shoved out. And then she's like, okay, that's fine. And she like then gives him this.
She said, "I hate him too."
Yeah, I hate him too. And that scene where Colin Farrell isn't talking, he isn't talking, she's talking, she's owning the scene in that monologue, because a monologue is hard, man. And then they keep cutting back from him to Colin Farrell's face, so they still have to do some work where they have to body act. Body acting is very hard. You gotta make sure your face is right, and you don't want to look dumb in a scene. And if it fit, then at the end where she's like, you know what, honestly, I don't give a shit if you say no to this. I'll talk to somebody else. I got 2 other people I can talk to. I don't care. Basically tell him, I want to work with you, but you're not that important. Either you take this deal or you get the hell out of here. And then she goes and tells the Penguin, make the deal or not. I don't care. I'll be downstairs. And that scene was really nice. And my least favorite scene, damn, that's hard because man, I don't know which one was bad.
It is. This is going to be tough. I think
this one's pretty hard. Probably the scene where Oz is like trying to cheer up the drug dealing strippers. You know what I mean? Maybe, or drug dealing escorts. That was probably it. Like. But I don't think that scene was that bad either. But I think
that's the whole point, man. This was going to be a tough one. There's a lot of
bro, my other
a lot of shows you watch. There might be
like,
half the episode. You're like, man, half this shit was shitty, but there was some good stuff.
Yeah,
but in this, I
could
don't even know what I'd pick.
I could talk about the funniest scene. I think we all could agree is. Wait, hold up. Was it this scene? Was it this episode or last episode where he messed up the taco order?
Oh, that was last. That was
the last.
Ferris, you watched 2 episodes in one day. That was last week.
Okay. Got it.
Well,
that was my favorite. That was my favorite scene last week. Okay.
Yeah.
I said no cilantro.
Yep. Greg's he's on the road again. So man, what favorite and least?
Most favorite scene was the beginning. I thought it set the tone for the episode. That really dived into Vic's. Made you have an emotional, connection to Vic right away. Then it just showed what Vic was going through and his whole episode. So it just hit the ground running. You saw the whole thing of, his interaction with his parents, everything, his interacting with the girl and how much he loves her, and thinking about, just like the future and stuff like that. And then to see the whole waves just kill everybody and take everything out. And then it goes right into the episode about, it's a kind of a Vic based Vic's big part of the episode, his whole journey. So I thought that was one of my favorites.
I definitely think it was a Vic centric episode. I do think the other characters, they did it perfectly. It just didn't focus entirely on him. So I do think they did a really good job of also having big moments with a couple other characters as well. But yeah, I think it was a Vic-centric episode.
Yeah,
and I'm going to tell you, if you would have told me that's what we were going to get before we watched it, I'd have been kind of bummed. I'd have been like, man, I don't know. Like, not saying the kid's done a great job so far, like in the show, but like that character, because of all the other stuff going on, to me is like, even though he is interesting, he might be the least interesting of the stuff we're getting up to this point. And like now after watching it, I'd be like, nah, dog, I was wrong. Yeah. Shouldn't have ever thought that about this episode. Like, but if you would have told me it was going to be a lot about Vic, I'd have been like, oh man, we're kind of taking a step back, that kind of thing. But no, I think they actually took a big step forward. But what's that least favorite? Like I said, it's going to be tough, man.
That's pretty easy for me.
Okay, go ahead. Damn, man.
No.
He's always... All right, go ahead.
The club scene where he has the PTSD flashback and it causes all that. I know it's supposed to highlight PTSD and mental health and kind of be like an artsy thing. It just didn't work for me. I thought it was kind of out of nowhere. Like I'm just like, all right, I didn't really need this.
Yeah.
The
I can see that part.
Drugs fall on the ground. They just magically get picked up. Like he's just walking around with a bag in the club. Like I'm just like, all right. I understand like how everybody's gonna be like, wow, it was just well done, and how it relates so much to the beginning of the episode, and it just hits home everything. For me, it's just kind of weird. So that's just my gripe.
I got you.
Yeah, I felt you on that too, Greg. That was my least favorite because I was like, "What's happening? Did he like take the drugs on accident or something?" Like I was very confused with what was going on at that moment. So yeah, that's probably one of my least favorites. I also didn't like when the girlfriend came over and like he was going up to kiss her and she's like, I'm gonna be leaving, and I'm like, what? Like this, you haven't seen each other in a while, bro. Like he just wants to make out with you, he misses you. Like but
pro love. Brandy's pro PDA.
I mean, if I haven't seen Justin, well, of course I'm gonna kiss him. You better not pull away because
Justin probably like Heisman.
No,
but,
no. One of my favorite scenes was probably the penguin sticking up for him when the guy was trying to talk for him when he was stuttering, and he's like, let him talk, like stop, like pretty much let the guy finish his sentence of what he's going to say, even though it's going to take him a minute to get his words out, but you be patient with him, basically. So yeah, like I kind of like that scene where he kind of did that for him, like, you know, like, hey, let the kid speak for himself. A little simple scene, but I liked it. Thought it was pretty.
Yeah, that was a good scene. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
And so your least favorite was like you agreed with Greg, and even
I agreed with Greg, and then I had the girl one where she's like kind of like, I'm leaving, like, bro,
don't touch me.
Yeah. We can't make out. I'm gonna leave tomorrow.
Granny, I'm more incentive to make out, right?
Listen, if it's my last day, it was somebody, I'm gonna make out with them. What's up? You're my person. I love you. Like if
that was your last day, you'd probably do more than just make out. You know, members of
my
adult activities.
My favorite scene was because it actually makes like the whole story better to me. Is like you're doing this story on the penguin, where you have a guy that technically, because he's the main character, you're kind of supposed to like a little bit. He's supposed to have some good qualities that maybe you can sink your teeth into and be like, yeah, okay, I know he's a bad guy, but he's not like the bad of the bad kind of situation.
He's
but
just trying to fit in and be.
Yeah, my favorite scene was going to be what Ferris was going to pick for the favorite scene, but it's just because of him showing us like what he did with Alberto whenever he just took his ass out. He started talking that shit, right? VD trying to act like, oh, I'm untouchable. You can't do nothing. He's laying in his bed and home dude shoving the phone down his damn mouth and telling him what he's going to do and everything. That moment of like,
oh, that was the phone.
Yeah. That moment of going hardcore. That moment of because the screen was cracked because of how hard he was shoving it in his teeth and stuff.
For a minute, I thought that was a knife. I was like, did he stick a knife?
No.
He shoved the cell phone into his mouth.
Yeah, and the reason why I like that so much is because it shows you need to fear this guy. Yeah. Right? He's not as
It's good. Also kind of like what happened in the first episode when the brother made fun of him.
Yeah, exactly. But I love the way they're doing it though, because most of this episode and even the other episodes, most of it, 90% of it is him being an actual like good guy to like certain characters and stuff. Yeah, he's doing a couple of things shady, but he's doing it like in a better way than some evil bastard would. And then you see a moment like this, you're like, hold on.
I got another moment I don't like after you're done. So I got
but like, so I really like the way they're doing that though, because you're liking him, and then all of a sudden it's boom, I hit you with the fear factor. Like, you better watch out. This dude's like, he's not what he cracks up to be 90% of the time. There are moments when this guy loses control and can be pretty damn evil. So I like that, how they're doing that. And it's hard. I think most people have like, I think it's hard to pick like the least favorite. My least favorite would be, I guess, that moment I pointed out, like really nitpicky, saying like, don't touch the mushrooms, they could all die. And then like you rip one off the stalk like 5 seconds later. Like, what did she do? She just touched them, they could all die. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I get what Ferris is trying to say, like the role she was trying to play, because she does do that a couple of times in the episode and everything. But yeah, that. And why does cops always have to be the assholes? I guess I'd pick that scene too. Like, not every cop's a damn douchebag, but every cop they ever show in shows or TV now seems like they're the bad guys every time.
I also didn't like Veedy throwing in her face like, you're getting on this plane, and if not, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not afraid of you. Like, you're doing this. Basically telling her what she's gonna do, because I'm not afraid of you and stuff like that. And I'm like, you better be afraid of her. And then you see them go into the hotel room afterwards. But I didn't like that. The way he acted like, you're a Falcone, but you're nothing, basically.
Yeah, like, it's tough though, because like I would say that's a good scene, because like,
I didn't like that scene. Nah, don't be trying.
I like it because
don't underestimate a woman. Let me tell you.
But no, I like it because
that's the point.
Doing that, but he's doing that, but it's going to make the story better. Like, for instance, when they walk in the room. They walk in the room and he's like defenseless and he's like laying there. It makes that scene more powerful.
Well, it does, because she earlier. Yeah, because of what he did, and made it. She has something against him, and
right. And that's why I wouldn't say. That's why I
don't underestimate her. Like, you're not afraid of me, and you will be, bitch. Like, trust me.
It also ties in with Vic. It also ties in with Vic and his getting a bus ticket.
Well, I mean, he ain't even doing that. Like, he's just the one that confronted her, but it's the Luca guy that's telling her to go. Like, you got.
I'm saying, like, they both have choices to leave the life and get out of this whole situation. Her and Vic, and so it's kind of.
Oh like, I see what you're saying. Yeah, she could have got on that plane ticket, got out of Dodge, because obviously some shit's going down. You know, like, and I just love the beautiful thing with like Penguin and Vic, where I think like, so Vic had a really good dad that did what he was supposed to. Right? Like, he was there, he worked hard, did all these things and set the groundwork. And it's crazy when you look at it like with the Penguin side of it, he's stepping in kind of like this father figure, and he's giving Vic, even though obviously he's leading Vic down the ultimate wrong path that could cause him issues for the rest of his life, getting involved in these kind of things. But if you talk about the lessons that he's teaching, is things like even his father didn't teach him about, like knowing your worth, about knowing you can go out here and do things and stuff like that. You're not trapped in the city, all this kind of stuff. But yeah, that whole thing is like really cool, because like the Penguin is showing this kid like some really good values that even his dad possibly. I'm not saying his dad was like crappy when I say this. I'm saying his dad probably wasn't instilling in him as much, even though his dad was like a good example. Go out there and do hard work. But like the Penguin said, bro, hard work a lot of times in this like world is like screwed with and shit on. Like, think about it. Most of the people that work hard every day are the people that get the less money. The people that are sitting in the towers. Yeah, the people that are sitting in the towers, the people that are running the crews, the people that are, you know, in the suits that don't work on the weekends. Like, all those people are the people that make all the money, but all the people doing the hard work doesn't get the money. They get very little, you know, of it just to be able to survive. And it's a true thing that a lot of people, especially now the economy's not great, so people are like even realizing that more than not. So it's like lucky, because obviously they wrote this story and put it together, but before some of the things that are happening in our real lives is happening. It's almost like they wrote a good story and then they got lucky on top of that to have things that can hit home about what's happening today. Like, I think that it's just one of those, like, kind of like you get lucky, right? It just happens to be the right time for something.
Yeah, and it highlights the scene, like in the scene, like when he was talking to his dad, he was like, "Dad, you're getting, taken advantage of," and even the daughter was like, "Yeah, you're getting advantage of. You go work somewhere else, you can make more money." And he was like, "No, I'm fine. Like, I'm making what I need to make." And he's had that conversation about, you don't want to die like this. You don't want to die like this. Is you want more out of life than this, right? And then his mom was like, "Oh man," and the Penguin on the other side giving the exact same advice.
Yeah.
Like, know your worth. You're gonna want more out of life.
Yeah, and his dad, it's common immigrant struggle, because they always say, like, you think this is bad. Remember where we started. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know where we started.
Mm-hmm.
We want more. We want to get better. We want have an upward trajectory in life. You can't just accept, okay. You want good, and then you want from good, you want great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then you from great, you want, your life is good, man. It's just, common, it's the common thing right there.
The crazy thing to me is whenever you have people, and I've talked to a lot of people, like, I work in a spot that has like a lot of immigrants and stuff like that, because it's like a military base, so a lot of people coming in and out doing all that thing from all across the world. Like, they don't just train American soldiers, they actually train people that are our allies and stuff that comes in for like helicopter. But the thing about it is it's crazy to me sometimes, like, immigrants that come here for the right reasons and the right thing, and come in here and want to like just work and take care of their family. They love America better than the people that lived here and are born here. Whenever you talk to people, like, they love it because they know where they came from. They know how bad it was, and they come to this country and they have this love for it and stuff. Like, just like what Ferris is talking about, they come over here and they're like, "Man, dude, remember how bad it was? Boom, super great." And it's just crazy to me how, like, some of the people that are lived here, like, I guess it's like taken for granted, like, how great our country is, because you see a lot of negativity about our country all the time, whether it's online and stuff like that. And it's like, it trips me out sometimes. It's like, bro, nah, man, our country may not be the best at this, or be the best at this, or be the best at this, right? But our country's still great, still a great place to live. Could be way, way worse.
Penguin's giving you the side eye.
Yeah.
Who's that?
My mom's giving me the side eye.
What you talking about, Willis?
That's a picture of my mom. My mom's giving me the side eye.
Shout out to Brandy's mom. She's right there.
It was a painting when she was younger.
Yeah, man, it was a great episode overall, man. It was. I just liked it because, they showed you, where people forget. Like, we watch movies, right? The core of movie making and TV making is the actors, it's the dialogue, it's the talking. Correct? Like, the action set pieces are awesome. We all love them. But most films are not action movies, or most TV shows are not action movies. The dialogue is what matters, and the actors doing it matters. And this showed you an example of, like, this is just basic old school acting. You know what I mean? We're just going to act. We're gonna get a script. We're gonna go to a setting, and we're just gonna act in front of each other. Like, that's what we did.
I think some of the magic that started happening with, like, the MCU is because, like, you got all these big set pieces and stuff like you're talking about, and people were super excited to see them. But then as we kept going, and after you got used to seeing these big set pieces, I think people started realizing, bro, like, why we got to make a joke every 5 seconds? Why can't we be serious for a moment? Why can't we tell a serious story all the way through? Where's the heart? Where's the stuff? It's just, oh, we got to get to this action scene, or people just saying basic stuff and everything else. And then you watch a show like this that doesn't have all the action, especially in this episode, doesn't have all those set pieces. But by the way, that beginning scene when the flood happens, that shit looked awesome and amazing.
Well, Justin, I think you misspoke right there. The magic of the MCU, the set pieces were nice, but were those little dialogue moments. where
No,
it
there
got
was
serious.
points. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was points like
Yeah,
that they
I think that's what
had.
yeah.
But I'm saying like the last few films they've done, I think they haven't done as good because it's the same. Like they
It's a lot.
can't
It's just
bring in.
action set pieces.
Yeah, a lot of it is.
It's
Yeah,
just a
and
bunch of like those those scenes in in Iron Man where
yeah,
Iron Man and the guy in the cave,
yeah,
and then we find out the guy in the cave has been lying the entire time, and he basically like, yo, my family's been dead. I just lied to you to keep your hopes up.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what was missing from
No, I
some
agree.
people.
Like when
Yeah,
they
yeah,
first were setting it up, they were telling good stories with
yeah,
the
yeah,
action set pieces, and it's like almost
yeah, yeah.
laziness, right? Like over time, we're just gonna have action, and then we are,
Formulaic.
yeah, and the
Formulaic.
stories are just like, well, ain't that this is telling like I said, I love this episode, just because, like I said, I love it when I'm watching something and I actually feel something for the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff I've been watching, like I said, this has made me feel like Vic, one of my favorite characters right now, just because of the fact that like I thought he did the acting and the writing was done very well, and the story they told was like really like heart wrenching at times, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's watching his girl that he thinks he loves and stuff, like get on this bus and he could get away, but then he's got the other side of it, like I got this opportunity and stuff, and he's like, you can feel like he's having trouble, like trying to make that decision and everything. You feel the loss of his family and stuff, and like how that's affecting him, and all that. And I do agree with you guys, like a little bit with say like the they're in the club and the PTSD thing. Because look, I get it, but there's a lot of bad things that happen to people, and not everyone gets PTSD or that bad, right? Maybe you got maybe you jump a little bit because you heard a car horn because you got ran over one time or something like that. But like you don't like fall to the ground having panic attacks. Like not everybody goes through that. And it seems like any character that has something bad happen to them, that everybody's got to have that kind of stuff going on. And you don't have to do that every time. Like he could have saw that light and kind of jumped a little bit and still, hey, he's affected because it reminded him of the explosions that happened when he was with his girlfriend on top of the roof. But do we always have to have the person like panic attacking and doing all that and laying on the ground and can't hardly move? Like we don't have to do that on every single character that goes through a bad thing, because in real life we all go through bad stuff, and not everybody goes around having those kind of things happening. So like, yeah, you just don't have to do it every time.
As a someone who's actually been ran over by a car, I can, I do not jump at car horns. No, I don't.
As someone who's been in a car accident, I do jump when I think a car's
Listen,
coming. So
my uncle back in the day when I was probably about 12 years old had a gun pulled to his face, and I was sitting there watching it, like that kind of thing. I don't like
what the hell?
and get
What the
scared.
hell is okay? What the hell is the matter with you? Are you just trying to top everyone's experience? What is that?
No, I mean, it wasn't on me. You got hit by a car. That's way. I just saw somebody like possibly happen to somebody else.
You
Yours
saw
is way
that,
more
Randy?
traumatizing. You got ran over by a car.
Yeah, that's true. But you have you were yeah, that's just a good point. That's a valid point.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's an experience where somebody maybe that would have affected somebody else, but not everybody gets affected that way. And I do think that's kind of like a thing that people just use. Like, you could have still got that same reaction if he would have just said, maybe jumped a little bit or something. Maybe he like gets a little startled because of the lights that happen or whatever, and that show's about to start, and he drops a couple of the vials on the ground and he has to pick them up real quick. You would have got the same thing, and you didn't have to do the whole like music and stuff going like Brandi and Greg was talking about. You didn't have to do all that stuff because they just do it too often these days. To me, it's like every character has to have some kind of thing. It's like, bro, not every character goes through that same process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we got, and big thing is, I think we got confirmation that Sophia is actually not a serial killer or the hangman. That she's
she's a serial killer.
No,
she just ain't. She just didn't do. I don't think
killed anyone. She's gonna kill someone. She's going to kill someone. Then we're gonna be reminded.
Oh no, I think she's killed. I think she's probably killed people, and maybe she didn't do the hangman stuff necessarily, but she's obviously like, nah, dog. You don't have a guy sitting on a chair with one of your men with chicken wire about to cut his arm off with some chicken wire in the first episode, and you ain't never did none of that before. You got wrongly accused. She went in there because her ass was already a little crazy, and she got put there because I think they were like probably her dad and stuff was a little scared of what she could end up doing, and the Penguin actually, I guess, helped out with that and all that kind of stuff. But like, she ain't completely innocent. She crazy, man. You see her eyes, bro. Them crazy eyes, man.
I think her story is something like she got caught doing something, got ratted out because Penguin saw opportunity to kind of up himself in whatever reason.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
And then she got committed to Arkham, and that's when she kind of flipped.
I agree with that, but I don't think she's completely innocent. You don't jump from like one thing to, I mean, I guess you could say her time in Arkham, but then that wouldn't make sense with like the drug they were giving them, because then she admitted that like it made them like forget everything and like have a good time anyway.
My theory, she killed her mom. My theory, she killed her mom.
Yeah, she might have,
or something like that.
But nah, you don't jump to that level. Like, you might jump to the level of having your guy hold a gun to somebody's head, but you ain't the ringleader of somebody that's saying, hey, bro, let's get this chicken wire and we're going to cut this man's arm off if he keeps running that mouth. You don't jump to that level. That's not like, that's you skipping a couple of steps, right? Like I said, I could see you being like, hey, hold the gun on him, make sure he don't move. If he moves, blow his brains out kind of thing. But you went to the creative process of thinking about cutting a man's arm off with chicken wire that episode. You crazy. You crazy. All right. I wouldn't even have thought of that. And I watch horror movies.
And then they killed that. And then they killed that homie.
Oh yeah.
Straight shot him in the head.
I mean, Brandi, do you disagree? You think she's like innocent? Nah, she's crazy as hell.
I love her. I think she's fantastic.
Well, I mean, it's cool to like characters that are crazy, but I'm just saying she's crazy as hell.
I was laughing at something else, but
she's interesting, crazy.
She is interesting. I do like Sophia. I like that crazy. I want to see how crazy she could be.
I want her to kill someone, bro, because I think she's the hangman. She's gonna kill somebody. I'm
gonna tell you right now, Ferris. Ferris, I guarantee you, is in that group that I know's out there. Because I haven't made a joke a couple of episodes ago, but Ferris is in that group. He can fix her.
No,
Ferris, bro.
No. I told you I'm not in that group. I literally told you episode 1. I want nothing a part of this woman.
I love her.
I'm the man that's if you say I'm not interested, I say, you know what? You have a nice day. And I walk away. I don't pursue people who don't like me, and I definitely don't pursue crazy. Crazy, off limits. If I find out you're the hangman and you're in Arkham, you're in Blackgate prison, that's a deal breaker for me. That's, I mean, you probably talk to the or Calendar Man or the Condiment King.
I think I'm now getting more interested in Sophia's story than I am of the Penguins.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Well, like what if she did talk to Condiment King? I mean, he was talking about how like he kills people with horse relish. You know how many ways you can kill a man with horse relish? I don't know, but he probably found a way. Yeah. Those people are crazy, man. Ain't no fixing here. No, mister, I don't fix it. I am not Handy Manny. Okay.
I love the fact that in this thing, it's a Batman show, obviously, right? It's the Penguin. But it's in the Batman universe. I am loving the fact that I love the characters that are involved. None of them have to be like super big. At this point, I'm not even missing the Batman right now. And beyond that, like, I'm not sitting here trying to find out if any of these other characters are some characters that are something we should know or whatever. Like, I'm not even thinking about that when I'm watching the episodes because they're so good. You know, like when you watch like some shows, you're just kind of like, oh, wait, who is that? Oh, is that somebody that I need to look up or any of that? Like, I'm not even worried about that, man. Like, and I don't care if we even get it because the people they got and the characters they're putting together so far have been like super good, super great. And they're telling a good story so far. This show could, I've seen it happen before. This show can fall flat on its face the last couple of episodes. But right now, as the shows that we are covering here for like the post-credit so far, this is like my favorite one, no doubt. The ones that we're doing at the moment. Like, I think this is better than some of the other stuff that's happening at the same time. And I know, like, see, I like the House of the Dragon. I know, like, the last episode wasn't, I guess I give it a little bit of a pass because of the fact that I know what really happened with it and like why they couldn't do it. Because I don't think that last
I
episode
need
was
to watch
bad.
the last episode. I need to watch the last episode.
The whole season was kind of lame.
Bro, you lame.
Rings of Power was better. I'm still
Yeah.
gonna stick to that.
I don't want to be stuck with Damon doing drugs in a haunted mansion like for the
That is
five
what he
episodes.
did. That is definitely what he did.
For,
He
like,
was in a
forever.
haunted mansion doing drugs. That is
No, but see, like even that to me is fine. Like if it wouldn't have ended up being to something, but like when he goes up to Rhaenyra, that whole thing, the process that he went through means something at that point, and it makes that moment even bigger. And that's the thing I love, man, when people
We're
can
on the
use
wrong.
that kind of stuff.
We're talking to Penguin.
For the record, yeah, we are talking the Penguin. For the record, I still haven't seen the last episode of House of Dragon. So
Friendship everything.
yeah, I'm actually almost caught up with Buffy though. So there's that.
How long? How many seasons are they at? Yeah.
They're on season 3, episode 3, and I'm only 2. I can do it. I can do it before Wednesday.
But like, when did you stop? This first season.
It's like,
I know.
I watched season 1 and I stopped. I was like, oh my god.
Well, let's go with last moments for the Penguin, and then we'll jump out of here. And yeah, guys, I'll say this one more time before we do this, and give a score for the episode, like what you think as we go down the line. But yeah, jump in there. We do the Rewatchers Council, which they're doing Buffy, and then we do all these post credits where we watch like the newer shows and stuff like that, and then tell our thoughts after we watch the episodes, episode by episode. Ferris, man, any final thoughts, and then give us a grade. What do you give this episode?
Great episode. I loved it. The more we talked about it, that the grade kind of went from an A to a B plus. Yeah, let's go B plus, I guess. It's a great episode.
1 through 10.
Oh, it's 1 through 10. We do 1. You said
Well,
grade.
I mean, you can do it. I don't care how you grade it.
You said grade. 1 through 10. 8. 8. Yeah. 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Greg, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, just 8.
No, go ahead, Ferris. Yeah.
I was gonna say, talking about the club scene kind of knocked it down. You're right. It kind of was like kind of off-putting. It kind of went a little bit, but that was pretty much the only thing. I'm like, oh yeah, it's true, guys. You're right about that. But overall, I love the episode. It's an 8. Yeah.
All right, Greg, man. Final thoughts.
8.2. I like how the Penguin kind of like finds his own little Robin. Like it's like a Jason Todd thing. Like Jason Todd was messing with Batman's vehicle. He takes him under his wing. Yada yada. We got the same thing with Vic. That's interesting. Sophia now is probably going to be in the hands of not the the Maronis. So that's going to be a whole thing about like, does she find out that he killed her brother? Like, what is all going to go down? So I'm really interested in the next episode. So yeah, I'm gonna go buy some Bliss after this.
Damn. Son. All right. Brandi.
I give this a 7. It's not high up, but it's pretty okay for me. It wasn't just like stand out and knock out of the park for me. It wasn't, but it was a good episode. I can't wait to see what else is going to happen with Sophia, because I think there's obviously more to tell in her story. So we're going to see what's going on with her. She got left behind. See what happens. Yeah. So it's about solid 7 for me.
With me, thought it was a great episode. From some of the things that I was talking about earlier. And maybe this is like a recency bias kind of thing because of the fact that, like I said, there's shows and even like movies that I've watched that I really didn't get like an attachment to a character or feel kind of what they're going through in the moment. I really felt that with Vic in this episode. So I'm going to give it like an 8.7, man, almost a 9 for me. But that's just because of I really felt like this kid's story and really enjoyed it. And I thought the actor did a great job. And then not just that, the other stuff that was coinciding with it that was around his story wasn't bad either for the most part. Yeah, I mean, really enjoyed it. I'm going to have a higher score than most people just because, like I said, I really felt that kid's story in this episode. I really haven't felt that in a little bit. Like as far as characters, like I see things that look cool and I see moments that are cool, like from some other things, but like I haven't felt oh man, like this is cool. Like this, like in the moment watching it, I'm almost forgetting I'm watching the show and I'm seeing these like moments and like I'm like, oh man, it's kind of like tugging at me a little bit. It's making me think like, they're doing such a good job with this, and like, yeah, some of the other stuff I haven't felt that way, but so that's why I said recency bias, because I haven't seen as much that's been doing that kind of stuff.
Just
Like,
say a
I'm gonna give it
9,
a
Justin. Just say a 9.
You know what?
You know,
9. We'll give it a 9.
Yeah, that 8 points.
I'm gonna give a 9. I'm
give it
copying Greg.
Yeah,
I'm copying Greg. Greg always can't be 8. Greg
Stop
can't
copying
say a
Greg.
number.
Stop
Yeah,
copying
Greg can't
Greg.
do a
I
number
hate that
numeral.
shit, man.
He's got to do
I-
like an 8.2
give
and a
this-
half, 0.5,
I give
and
this a
everything else.
8.43. Like, nah, just say an 8.
You know, I'm trying to be cool like Greg, man. Like,
Man,
he's got.
Screw Greg.
I think
I was trying to be cool. I would have gave it a 6.9, but I didn't.
Like,
7.
Greg over here, one episode we watched, he gave it the score of pi. Like, I was like, bro, what's up, man?
3.14?
No, he kept going. It was a 3.14967253321. I was like, bro, what the hell are you doing, man? Just round up. You know what I'm talking about? Like, bro.
That's hilarious.
But with that being said, guys, I hope everybody's out there being safe. There's another hurricane in the south, so hopefully that doesn't hit and affect North Carolina anymore, because those people, or even Florida for that matter, especially if you're on the coastline. So everybody be as safe as possible and just enjoy some entertainment, man. Be able to escape. This is a perfect episode, and so far a perfect show that is great for that. Go and watch this. You'll escape for a little while. You'll forget about your worries for a second, and all that kind of good stuff, because it's at least as good for that. And everything else. And until next time, peace.
Also, wait, before, if someone in the South was hit by an object, trust me, it wasn't a hurricane. It was the Auburn quarterbacks trying to throw a football.
Or a mermaid.
You wouldn't get hit by it. You would intercept it. That's what would happen. You would intercept it. Our quarterback is almost 100% completion percentage, because it either goes to one of our guys or it gets caught by the other team. I don't think a ball ever hits the ground. Okay.
Shout to you, Hank Brown and Peyton Thornton.
Yeah. Nice. I can't believe you actually remembered the backup quarterback's name.
Justin, I love college football, man. Don't disrespect me like this, man.
Yeah, I thought you was literally at the Cal game cheering for Miami.
I was.
For God's sakes.
Oh, no, I was at the Cal game, but I wasn't cheering for Miami. I was cheering for
a West Coaster that doesn't cheer for one West Coast team except for Cal.
That's
bye, guys.
No, I root for Oregon.
Yeah, he just jumps on the bandwagon.
The Pac-12 is dead, Justin. What do you want from me?
Yeah, it's over. With that being said, this show
just
is
like
over.
the show.